I've got 10 reasons why your startup won't work. Well, actually, I've got 12, because in business, the bad news is always a bit worse than you expected. Number 1, the 90% failure rate, what I call the Gordon Brown lesson. 9 out of 10 business startups fail. And I remember talking to then Prime Minister Gordon Brown. He was full of that political, let's change the world energy. He said, Richard, we've got to get more new businesses started in this country. And I looked at him and I said, Gordon, for every one that succeeds, 9 fail. And I worry that by encouraging startups and pushing the wrong people into them, we're just going to add to the 9, not to the 1. He looked a bit puzzled, probably calculating the hit to the GDP, but then he gave me that stiff smile and said, yes, we've got to be careful with that. The psychological term for this is survivorship bias. It's the logical error of concentrating on the people or the things that made it past some selection process and overlooking those that did not. We only look at the one guy who made it and ignore the 900 corpses in the basement. As Steve Jobs famously said, I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. But the part people forget is that persevering with a bad idea is just a long way of saying going broke slowly, so be careful. Number 2, the invisible wall of competition. When I first started, being a business angel was obscure. People thought it was a religious title. Now everyone has an app, everyone is the Uber of something. There's a concept in strategy called the red ocean. It's where the water is bloody because everyone is fighting over the same fish. You think you've got a unique idea? There is a 99% chance that 3 guys in a garage in Bangalore and a teenager in Palo Alto are already 6 months ahead of you. And then there is stealth competition. Look at Shazam. They were the kings of song identification, then Apple just absorbed the concept. It reminds me of what the comedian George Carlin used to say. The reason they call it the American dream is because you have to be asleep to believe it. If you're asleep, a giant like Google or Apple will eat your lunch and you won't even wake up until the bill arrives. I remember a woman from TomTom at a conference in Helsinki. She describes the day Google Maps went free and mobile as a very bad day. That's the understatement of the century. That's like saying the captain of the Titanic had a bit of a damp evening. Number 3, the unknown unknowns. This is what I call asymmetric risk. Donald Rumsfeld, the former US Secretary of Defense, had a way with words. He identified the difference between what they knew and what they didn't know. He talked about known unknowns, things that we know we don't know, and unknown unknowns, the things we don't even know that we're missing. In business, the upside is a narrow corridor. You might hit your sales target, you might get the price right. But the downside is a vast, infinite wilderness of weirdness. I once had $1 million piece of kit dropped just 1 foot off a truck. Boom, $20 million order down the drain. I've seen businesses destroyed because 2 founders, who used to be best friends, suddenly realized they hated each other. Psychologists call this the black swan theory. It's the random, high-impact event that you can't predict. You can plan for a recession. You can't plan for your CEO's wife having a car accident and a flood in the same week, causing him to quit. That happened to me. Number 4, your idea isn't that great. What I call the pub valuation trap. Everyone wants me to sign an NDA. I tell them, I'm not going to steal your idea because it's probably not worth anything anyway. On Dragon's Den, people would value their bath time idea at £100,000. I'd ask, how do you justify this? They'd say, my accountant valued it at that. My favourite reply? How much money is your accountant putting in? If the accountant isn't writing a check, he's not valuing the business, he's just being polite while he bills you for the meeting. There's a psychological effect called the endowment effect. We value things more simply because we own them. Your idea is your baby, so you think it's worth a fortune. To the rest of the world, it's just another screaming infant in a crowded room. Number 5. Back in the mid-1990s, I was one of the first people, if not the first, to spin out companies from Oxford University. It was from the chemistry department. And we had professors, literal geniuses, and PhD students who'd spent a decade or even more in white coats working on nanotechnology and other types of sciences. We would value that entire mountain of intellectual property at around about £50,000. Not a lot, right? Then a guy walks in from the pub and thinks his idea for Uber for dog grooming or selling garbage cans on the web is worth double that. It's a reality check. If 10 years of Oxford science is worth only £50,000, your napkin sketch is worth about the price of the coffee that you might have spilled on it. Number 6. Management is harder than science. Management is a talent, and it's rarer than academic genius. I've never seen a lazy person make a good manager. You need common sense, sociability, and the energy of a toddler on an espresso bender. I told those Oxford professors, the brilliance it took to invent this product of yours needs to be matched by brilliance in commercialising it. They didn't like it. They thought commercial people were a bit dim. But as Peter Drucker, the management guru, said, management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. Most startups struggle to do either. The seventh reason why your business will fail: the 12 yeses and the budget line. To sell, say, a new technology to a big company, you don't need one yes, you need a dozen. You have to beat the not invented here syndrome. The internal tech team will hate you because you're making them look slow. You're fighting through a jungle of middle management just to reach the budget line. It's like that old saying, a committee is a cul-de-sac down which ideas are lured and then they're quietly strangled. Number 8, the lottery winner's biography. We love reading books by businessmen such as Richard Branson or Bill Gates, but reading a billionaire's biography to learn business is like asking a lottery winner for financial advice. They did a specific thing at a specific time with a massive amount of luck. If you try to copy Zuckerberg by hacking a university today, you'll end up in a jumpsuit that isn't grey and comfortable. It'll be orange and have a Department of Correction logo on it. Number 9, business plans are fairy tales. Everyone has a plan until they get hit. I love Mike Tyson's version of that. It's the most honest thing ever said about strategy. A business plan is usually just a way for a founder to lie to themselves with a spreadsheet. It's spurious accuracy. You tell yourself you'll have 27.3% of the market in year 3. You don't even know if you'll have enough milk for the coffee machine on Tuesday. Number 10, the scaffolder's wisdom. It's about hidden costs. Everything costs more than you expected. My friend with a scaffolding company puts parking fines in his business plan because he knows they're inevitable. A lot of people forget VAT, storage, and the fact that free marketing doesn't exist. As the saying goes, business is a hole in the ground you pour money into, hoping it eventually fills up. Number 11, the time warp. Everything takes longer than you expected. If you think your software will be ready in 6 months, I'll see you in 2 years. By then, the next big thing will have already come and gone. Number 12, the sunk cost fallacy. This is a big one. In psychology, the sunk cost fallacy is when we keep pouring money or time into a losing project because we've already put so much time and money into it. It's about knowing when to give up. You can get over-attached to things. You'd be better off going back to the day job or starting a new business entirely. If the business isn't working, stop digging. As W.C. Fields said, if at first you don't succeed, try again, then quit. No use being a damn fool about it. So, that's my 12. Are you sufficiently depressed? If you're still standing after all of that, maybe you've got the 1 in 10 spirit. But don't say I didn't warn you. Until next time, keep your eyes on the budget line and your feet on the ground.